Let's take a look this morning at what is an unrestricted son. You know, we have to get to the point in our walk with Yahweh where we understand what it means to shift out of body into spirit. What it means when he says in Philippians, to those who are in Christ, all things are possible. See, it's an unrestricted dimension that we shift into when my body, my physical body, is no longer hosting my spirit and my soul, but my spirit is hosting my body and my soul. That changes everything. See, this is Yeshua walking on water. This is Yeshua climbing on a cloud and ascending into the heavens. This is him shifting into people and walking through people. This is Yeshua standing in the temple and disappearing, and they could by no means see him. This is the place where I am no longer human, but I become a spirit being. And this is what we have to understand. See, I get born from above. I reactivate who I am as a spirit man, and I shift from the natural into the supernatural. I start living in my Father's house. I start engaging in my Father's kingdom. I start understanding my Father's revelation, and I have my Father's insight. I become one with him. He says, come live and move and have your being in me. See, I shift from one-dimensional realm, which is the kingdom of earth, into the kingdom of heaven, where I sit within my Father, and I begin to elevate into the four faces. I begin to go lion, ox, eagle, man, lion, ox, eagle, man. I begin to stand as the priest. I begin to stand as the king. I begin to stand as the oracle. I begin to stand as the legislator. Then I go through my Father's four faces into creation, and I stand in creation, and I present his presence as I breathe my breath. I stand in the full measure of his image. I begin to understand who I am as a king, because now I stand in creation after I've lived and moved and had my being, and still is in Christ, in the full measure of Yahweh. I sit within creation, and I begin to brood into it. I begin to govern it. I begin to become the king, and I stand in the ground that the Father has given me, and I breathe his breath of governance in creation to take back and to restore what needs to be restored. But I also speak as an oracle, and I begin to understand the power of legislation as I go into the kingdom of heaven, look at how it's meant to be, and I bring it back into creation to reestablish the things that needs to be restored. See, he restored me, therefore I have to restore creation. All things are possible. And Yahweh is calling a company of people that is unrestricted, that will stand in his full measure and bring all creation back into order.